The
All right, here we
classic song.
All right, let's get it. I'm gonna go live right now. Here we go. We got Abe. All right, we're about to go live. Let's go. Peace and blessings and harmony. Let's get this, guys. Let's make this powerful tonight. All right. This is not just for fun. It's for fun, but it's also to change, to raise the vibration. I take this very seriously, and it is a true honor to be around with you guys. So let's go. It's like the championship right now. Let's go.
Yeah.
Going live. Greetings! Greetings, everyone! Welcome. It is a true honor to be here among you amazing beings. When it comes to doing this sort of thing, I want to paraphrase what I heard earlier today on our friends Loco Listens podcast with the powerful Alan Marcus. He mentioned, this is a paraphrase, that everyone watching and observing and participating in this show is a part of the magic and a part of the weave. This is not about me. We are all equal here. We all have an equal voice. And again, I would like to send out so much gratitude and high vibrations to every single person that hears my throat chakra. I appreciate each and every one of you. I give you energy and I receive energy. I can actually feel the energy right now. And I'm not just saying that. I never say that. I can literally feel it right now. It is wild how powerful things are happening. Oh my gosh. Goodness gracious. It is, again, let me love, peace, and power. Konami Codes, brother, how are you, man?
I am thankful. It is a very, very good day. It's the 28th. 28 is the number of wealth. That has been shown to me over and over again today, and I'm very thankful. How are you, brother?
Man, I'm doing good too, man. Despite whatever's happening in the 3D realm, um, I still just feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like I could absolutely point out to you like this or that. I'll be honest, man. I do feel good, man. I feel great actually. You know what I mean?
It's
Um,
a beautiful thing. That's how it's supposed to be.
that's how it's supposed to be. Take care of me, I take care of you. That's how it's supposed to be. Sorry. Yeah. Oh
There's a
man.
reason they try to hit us with so much fear porn. There's a reason they try to, keep us constantly distracted because, that energy is vital. That loosh is needed. I refuse to give it up.
Absolutely, man. Oh my gosh. And trust me, I bet we can all sit and list our 3D realm problems right now. But this, and like you said, it's March 28th, and you equate 28 to uh equal or manifest into wealth, perhaps. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but 28 equates possibly to wealth. And I feel wealthy. You want me to show you my video game score? It may not reflect that. You want to check my vibes? They might reflect that. Yo, Awaken Soul Crypto. Check out her beautiful technical analysis show. I'm gonna put up a banner in a second and share everyone's stuff. But check out Awaken Soul Crypto. She is such a beautiful being. Alex Yeet. Alex Yeet driving. I hope you're not driving, my friend. If you are, I hope you enjoy listening. Man, you know what, Alex? We have um most of us here are crypto enthusiasts, and we also deal in the esoteric, and we're going to break down, we decode a lot of this realm, and it reflects into people like, you guys are weird, do you ever talk crypto? Yeah, we decode the realm, and that absolutely has everything to do with crypto, financial, sectors, bank failures, whatever. It absolutely is relevant. And Alex Jeet, man, I appreciate you. I haven't seen you in a while, brother, but much love. Much love. But before let me introduce the other homies. They are here to present. And the only reason I'm talking a lot right now is because I'm going to be quiet the rest of the show and allow these amazing beings who spent a lot of time and energy decoding um, the skull and bones and the 322. We had to do a part 2, guys. We're probably going to do a part 28, all the way to 28. You know what I mean? Until we're rocking in our Lamborghini helicopters. You know what I mean? But let me introduce the homies. Duke Doobie, how are you, my friend? If you can hear us, he's in the Rocky Mountains, guys. He might have a tough connection. Duke Doobie, what's up, my man? You did a lot of research. It's here. You got that throat chakra. We can't hear you. We didn't test the sound prior. We cannot hear you, my friend. We see your hilarious avatar, though. And, okay, let's chime in, Duke, when you can, because you're actually the main presenter, and you're hidden up in what are those, Iron Mountain? What are those those hidden secret silos in the Rocky Mountains, bro? Make sure you save us a spot. You're working on it.
All right, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
Awesome. Okay, great. Sorry about that. Great. I'm doing awesome. Thank you for having me. Thank you for not cutting it off after part 1. I do have a lot of esoteric knowledge to bring to you tonight. I have a lot of stuff. Hopefully I can get it wrapped up in time to actually go over some TA on some crypto, maybe Bitcoin, maybe XRP. We'll see. Sorry, I'm a little late to the party. I was actually throwing a few extra things into the presentation that happened in the market today that goes with what I'm going to be showing you. But man, thank y'all for having me. I see Abraham's in the house tonight. That's awesome. He's got some great knowledge as well on 322. Yeah, that's about all I got.
Yeah, brother. I mean, you had to come back for a part 2.
Yeah.
I don't want we can do, guys, for those listening, my friends, here and now, again, as I mentioned, if you are here and observing and participating, you are a part of the magic here. You know what I mean? You're we can feel your energy. And it's beautiful. So we could do a 12-hour show. Sure, but man, that's a lot. So we had to do it. You blessed us with such knowledge last Wednesday. For those that aren't aware, and don't feel bad if you didn't see the show last Wednesday, that was part 1 on 322, March 22nd in the year of 223. 322 223. And Duke Doobie came and shared his research, and even prior to the show, he added to the research as things are unfolding. So let me introduce Abraham, and then Duke, and we'll get out of the way and let you blow minds and pop minds like champagne bottles, as Sam Tripoli says on the Tinfoil Hat Show.
Yeah, man, go right ahead.
Yo, Abraham, how are you, my man?
Blessed. Every day I'm alive, above ground, and I ain't got nothing to complain about. So I'm out here kicking it with y'all. Glad to be back. I want to thank, Duke Doobie, Konami Codes, Moonfeather, Awakened Soul, and yourself, the Waters community, for the following and all of my platforms that, has trickled over the last few weeks. It's, it's been humbling and great. So I'm alive and blessed. Glad to be here.
Do me a favor, Abraham, and in the private chat, share your credentials again, your Rumble and etc. And I'm gonna put that across the bottom of the screen. I'll put everyone's stuff across the bottom of the screen. And yes, guys, something that's really been, hitting home with me is every day above ground. Every day is an absolute blessing. Like, you want to talk about losing money? You know what I'm saying? Don't even let me start talking about losing video game money. I've lost the Matrix money for sure. But every day, I'm still here. Guys, I'm still here. And I'm not going to spiral. The blessings, man, the power that I received this past Friday show. And then I listened to Five Farm. I listened to I went to sleep that night listening to Five Farm from Expanding Reality, the homie Brandon. I slept wonderfully. And I had beautiful, different dreams. And gosh, don't even get me started, man. But dude, share your stuff in the private chat, and I will share it across the screen. Abraham, same thing with you, Duke. I'll adjust this banner because this is the underground, and we need to support each other. You know what I mean? Loco Listens did his last live podcast today. Not the last forever. I'm gonna give him a week. Loco, you got a week to recharge, brother. But we all got to focus, and this takes a lot of energy. Anyway, forget about what I'm saying. Duke, are you ready to take over and just destroy this realm and raise the
I hope so. I believe I am. Let's get it going. Might take a little while. Hopefully not as long as the last one. We're getting there. Let's do a little recap, though. Hang on. Let me get my screen sharing.
Oh, here we go, guys. We got screen shares coming.
All right.
Am
I lagging?
Nope, it looks good. Are you guys cool with this type of screen, or do you want me to take us all off? Let me know, everyone, if you guys are cool with this type of screen. But go ahead, man. Take it away.
I'm good.
All right. So, do a little recap last time. We're talking about how secret societies communicate with each other using numbers, and these numbers are cheat codes. We got into the simulation theory a little bit, and if the simulation theory is true, then the simulation is built upon numbers. You can harness those numbers and use them as cheat codes. I believe, what was it? We watched this video about the cube. We'll go ahead and watch that video one more time, just a couple of minutes. I spoke about the number 4 and how the number 4 is super important in all things, but you got 44, which is the master destroyer number, because 4 plus 4 is 8. When you have 8 points, you have a cube, and it relates to the Saturn time cube. And we'll go ahead and watch this show real quick for this little clip.
So
can you hear
let's
it?
imagine.
Can you hear that?
Yep, we can hear.
All right,
roll
great.
it.
So let's imagine we take a box. It's an excellent box. Nothing can come in, nothing can go out. So we put an apple in the box, close the box. Billions and billions of years later, neutrons will decay into protons and other fundamental particles. So if there's 10 to the 24 particles in an apple, there's something like 10 to the 24 different states that those particles can be in. That's a gigantic number. But it isn't infinite. And what that means is that if you let the box sit there for an infinite amount of time, it will use them all up. It will go through every possible state that it can. And eventually it will start having to reuse states that it's been in before, because there just aren't any more that it can evolve into. And so eventually, if you wait a long time, something will happen. And this is the power that infinity has over the finite. But at some point, you could open the box, and there's your apple again. How did that happen? How did this hot gas turn into an apple? But eventually it has to. In fact, every possible thing that could exist in the box will exist. And they will each exist an infinite number of times. Why do we care? Well, we might be in the box.
In any finite region of space, like the observable universe that we now inhabit, there's a finite amount of energy, which is carried by a finite number of particles. And those finite number of particles can only be arranged in finitely many distinct patterns. Because there are only finitely many distinct ways that the particles can be arranged, if space does go on infinitely far, the particle pattern has to ultimately repeat.
Well, we are in the box, and I can prove it with numbers. You remember back in the day where you would punch some numbers into the calculator, and you flip it upside down, and it would spell things like hello or boobs, or this one I specifically remember because when you turn it upside down, 1134 spells hell. How's this significant with the numbers? Well, 1134 is in hexadecimal 4404. This is significant because it represents a cube or simulation or time loop, because 4 times 4 is 16 and 16 times 4 is 64. I'm not the only one who's noticed this. Nintendo 64 has noticed this. They created this device, but the insignia is a cube. Notice the 4x4x4 here. They created their own universe. And then you also have AMD. AMD is equals 1134. Well, they make processors. They make microprocessing chips. AMC, you've got 1133, which 11 plus 33 is 44. 11 times 33 is 363. You've got the mirrored 36. 36 is significant because it's 666 is the 36th triangular number, meaning the sum of 1 through 36 is equals 666.
Wow.
Relating. We're going to throw this back around to the Saturn time cube. The cube is represented all over the world. You have an architecture everywhere. You got it in Australia, Denmark, Manhattan, Santana, and let me go back here. You see here. 1134 is from octal 604, which is a magnification of 64. Okay, and let's see here. So also from duodecimal 1912. A lot happened in 1912. The Republic of China was established. New Mexico became the 47th state. Arizona became the 48th state. The Titanic sank. Pulitzer Prize was established. Paramount Pictures was established. Woodrow Wilson is elected president. Pope Gregory IV dies. I want to take note. I believe it is it's 111 years since the Titanic sank. And ironically, we have all sorts of liquidation issues going on in the financial market, bank runs happening and whatnot, or a threat of bank runs. I got this little pre-recorded video here, but actually, let me pull up. I don't have the audio on it. Apologize. Sorry about this.
No, man, take your time. My mind's already blown. We're only
digest. So this is what I'm talking to you about now. This is the video that I created for it. I have the Rumble channel. I'll share this link here in just a minute as well. But there's a part in here where I started speaking. I'd rather just let you listen to this versus me repeat it. find it.
Speaking
of church, let's see. Oh crap! Body of this was of John. God in the Old Testament is became the 47th state. So you might be wondering why I'm talking about hell and biblical stuff. Let me go into it a little bit. Arizona became the 48th state. That became Gregory the Fourth dies. Speaking of church, did you know there was a secret book of John that was deemed blasphemous and banned from the church? In this book, it was revealed that it was Jesus in the garden that caused Adam and Eve to eat from the tree of knowledge. It states, as for the tree called the knowledge of good and evil, it is the wisdom of light. They commanded him not to eat from it. However, I caused them to eat. But why would Jesus do this? According to the secret Gospels of John, God in the Old Testament is not the real God. He is a liar and deceiver. The true God is actually a pure divine mind that exists in and animates a realm of light called the Pleroma. And all things, all beings, all creations, including us, are pieces of and part of the divine mind. The God of the Old Testament is an evil being of chaos and darkness, a false pretender, the shadow of light. This God created a malformed realm of matter and trapped souls of light into bodies and caused us to forget our true nature, to limit our power in order to enslave humanity and worship him. This is all in the secret Gospels of John. It also states the Creator God's demonic forces envied the man. His understanding was far greater than that of those who had created him, and greater than that of the chief ruler himself. When they realized that he shone with light, they took him and cast him down into the lowest depths of the material world. They intended to make him anew, this time from earth, water, fire, wind, which are matter, darkness, desire, and the artificial spirit. This all became a tomb, a new kind of body. They enchained him in forgetfulness, made him subject to dying. There are many banned books that say the same thing. In the Apocalypse of Adam, Adam tells Seth that he and Eve were originally one divine being that the evil God fractured and trapped in matter. Adam said, we resembled the great eternal angels, for we were higher than the God who had created us. Then God, the ruler of the aeons and the powers, divided us in wrath, and we served him in fear and slavery. This God made them forget their divine origin, and he knew that if they ate from the tree of knowledge, they would begin to remember what they truly are. So he told them they would die if they ate it. But in the Bible, Lucifer tells them they won't die, but they will become like God. In the secret book of John, Jesus says he is the one that causes them to eat, so they will wake up from the sleeps of death and be filled with the wisdom of the divine light. But what does this have to do with AMC? Oh yeah, what does this have to do with AMC?
Well, first, before we continue,
yeah.
My friends, you look at the black. I always say this: the black cube of Saturn death cult. You look at the cities. You even have Mecca involved. You've got those. What was it? Australia, and I'm just If you can bring back what I can't remember, but it was. It doesn't matter because it's all. Oh, look at that next slide. 2 slides up. Yeah, that one. That's Australia, Denmark, Manhattan, and Santa Ana, and of course Mecca and several others. Guys, are you kidding me right now? Then the Titanic sank. I mean, you have all these other things. Pope Gregory, who those that don't know you're operating off of his current calendar right now, which I always call the commerce calendar, because if you weren't aware of the day of the week, it's all about bills, commerce, energy, loosh, vril, as Kalel mentioned earlier. If you weren't aware of this cycle, you're in a cycle. You're in a loop. Sunday through Saturday. Sunday through Saturday. Boom, 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 boom. Someone else created that for you, right? So I just want
100.
to share that with people who may not be fully aware quite yet. And then you get to the weekend, the week end, as opposed to the strong beginning. Who some of those that you might get a day of rest, perhaps, and you get back to the black cube of Saturn, Loosh, energy dampener. They steal your energy, they dampen it, and all of the politicians and celebrities and pyramid overlords, the oppressive pyramid overlord structure that control you and dampen you and take your gifts away and keep you in amnesia, keep you distracted. As Kalel mentioned when we first opened up, these people are a part. I use people in quotations, but there are some of them are people followers, are followers of a Saturnistic black cube of Saturn death cult.
Mm-hmm.
They
worship the materialistic, the material.
But also they wanted to Duke the material, but that tree, they take down the when I was listening to Symbolic Studies earlier today, talking about the tree of life and the tree of knowledge, and he was on our show a few weeks ago. It was a true blessing. Shout out to Symbolic Studies. When he sees any tree, whether it's in your backyard or the side of the road, he sees the tree. They branch up and they root down as above. So like, and these guys want to poison these Saturnistic death cult worshippers who want to dampen you, steal your loosh, keep you in fear, keep you in scarcity. What do? Not their words, and their words are horrific, but their actions are horrific. They literally poison the sky. They poison the land. They poison the sea. They poison every single living creature. Man, I saw a horrific video, and I'm not going to digress too much, Duke. I'll be quiet in a second. Of Gates. Gates, whose father was created eugenics, who created it wasn't Margaret Sanger, it was Gates, his father Gates, who created birth control and all that type of stuff. Eugenesis, which means they want to depopulate the world, and that means you. It's weird to hear the herd say, yeah, there's too many people. Yeah, that includes you in their eyes. Anyway, they have Gates owning a farm, and these cows are in the worst condition. Like, they can't move ever. Their entire lives. They're in a cage, and they cannot move. And that is, these people are against nature. They're against 666, which is carbon. They're against you. They want to kill you. They want to kill and destroy and poison everything. That's based off their deeds. I don't need to see documents. I don't need a tinfoil hat. I can just observe and go, you guys just want to destroy every single thing of this realm.
Anything good, they either want to destroy it or pervert it.
But I see the point of perverting it as the end game being to destroy it. I see the perversion as a middle, as a stepping stone to actually destroy it.
Yeah, and whether that's to confuse you on whether what's good or bad, right or wrong, and destroy your eternal soul, or whether it's to destroy a material object, they just want to destroy.
They want to destroy, man. Yeah, and defile and everything. Anyway, go ahead, my friend. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good, man. No, thank you for adding all of that. And I just to show you, you spoke of 666. I'll show you how they pervert it here. So carbon is the sixth element here. If you can see it, I know I'm lagging a little bit. Carbon's the sixth element here. You take 3 parts carbon, you get C3. If you go and search
Give it a
C3.
second, Duke. It is. I don't see it coming up yet.
Oh,
Give it
okay.
1 second, because I know where you're going, and this is important for some of those that may not know. We're dealing with different levels. So I see this is enterprise AI.
C3 AI. It's an
Okay, so we're up
enterprise.
to. Are we up to? Okay, you're good. Go ahead, my
Yeah.
friend.
It's an AI cloud storage for companies, industries, military, industrial complexes, agriculture, everything. They're trying to put everything inside of a cloud. This is straight up Terminator, end of the world, Skynet type shit. It's already here, and we don't even realize it. But yes, let me get back to my presentation. So how does all of this...
that? Oh, I'm sorry. And all
Go
those
ahead.
viruses, those cyber attacks, those Stuxnet type attacks on power plants, etc., in places like Iran, Iran, those are the perpetrators of all this stuff are the ones that will tell you they're here to protect you from those things. Hegelian dialectic, everyone. Okay? Look into it. Don't just hear other people say problem, reaction, solution. No, actually go look into Hegelian dialectic, because some people pretend that they seem to know what that means. No, the guys plan this. They control the reaction. They create, they give you the solution all before anything has ever happened, ever. Hence the fear, the scarcity, the noose, and all those things, the fourth branch, etc. But anyway, that's why decoders are so important, because we can see through what they're doing and we can navigate this realm, or just ignore it altogether. To be honest, in some cases,
if we find what their solution is, we can capitalize on it. If we would have known about CV-19, what happened with that, we could all got in on the mRNA vaccine, capitalized on those call options. This is what this is about. This isn't about trying to start a riot. This is about trying to do what they do, ride the waves of the wells. But what does all this have to do with AMC, GameStop, whatnot? Well, if you remember in Back to the Future, whenever Marty came back from 1955 into 1985, he went through a movie theater and he crashed into an Assembly of Christ. As you can see here, it's probably lagging a little bit. I'll give a minute for the video to catch up. Once it catches up, let me know. It's lagging bad.
Yeah, he's already crashed into the Assembly of Christ.
Okay. All right, thank you. But this is all about cheat codes. This is from the movie Wreck-It Ralph.
Up, down, stop.
This is King Candy, a guy named King Candy who rules. He took over a video game and rules over a bunch of little children, guarded by devil dogs. He's got the cheat code to this multiple universe.
Jumbotron.
They're rubbing it in your face.
The winner's cup. One of these things, it's not like the others, but you.
Yeah, devil dogs is a military nickname for soldiers.
Yep.
Fallen angel technology.
Correct.
What's that? Somerville, I'm going out. You're in charge of the castle until I get back.
Note that the medal that he put around his neck is a 5-pointed star, and he turned it upside down to look at it, and which would make it the pentagram. Okay, so AMC Holding Foundation date of June 6, 2007. That would be 6627. Spanning 666 weeks gives us the CV19 lockdown date of March 11th, 2020. I don't have this in here. Let me show you how I showed this last time. But DRV is the inverse ETF for the real estate market. And if you go all the way back to the day that it was founded, or I'm sorry, not founded, came out onto the market, which is 7/16/2009.
Also, guys, don't forget AMC. That's part of the fourth branch. They want to show you this programming on their movies.
Yes, 100%. Let's see, what was that? 7/16. Yeah, 7/16.
So anyone that doesn't know this type of gnosis that we're learning now, and that these amazing people are sharing, you're dealing in you're like playing a game. You don't know the cheat codes and you don't even know the rules of the game. So this is, in my opinion, just amazing stuff.
Yeah, the not only that, the rules constantly change.
Oh yeah,
to benefit themselves.
Hey, Khalil, we've had that conversation already. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So I hope my screen has caught up, but 666 weeks spanning from the open of DRV, which is an inverse ETF for the real estate market. It follows the opposite of what the real estate market does. It gives us 4/21 of last year, 2022, which happens to be the Queen's birthday, the Queen Elizabeth, and she died that year as well. So it's just showing you how they use it. You have 111 days left in the year on that day. And then if you go out 741 weeks, it gives us September 28th of this year. So I'm expecting the end of September, beginning of October, for there to be some real estate market panic going on. The DRV is going to shoot up, in my opinion, because if you go check the stock, I'm lagging, so I'm not going to go look. But if you go look at the stock, you can see on the 4/21 of 2022 that DRV bottomed out, had a market shift or a momentum shift, and started pushing up, and it's consolidating down there at the bottom, and it's getting ready to fucking rip, and I'm super excited about it. But I don't think it's going to be until the end of this year, which coincides with people's technical analysis. It coincides with the astrology reports. It coincides with a lot of stuff. And so you can really use inverse ETS as a cheat sheet for all of this. If you don't want to learn astrology, you don't want to learn all that stuff, just use the inverse ETS as cheat sheets and keep a lookout for these numbers they use for creation. I spoke about how they use these numbers for creation in part 1. So make sure you go back to part 1 and listen to part 1. And like and subscribe. Let's see here. Let me get back to my slide. So if we go from the CV19 lockdown date of 3/11/2020 and span out 322 days, skull and bones, it gives us the day that AMC and GameStop pumped of January 27th, 2021, along with other meme stocks like BlackBerry, what was the Bed Bath & Beyond, a few others. And then if we go from May 27th of 2021, which was the day that AMC started it was like the bottom of its run up. And if you go where it hit its all-time high on 6/2 of 2021, before it split into the ape share, it hit $72.62 on 6/2, and it closed at $62 that day. So the two sixes, or 6/2, two sixes. Let's see here. And you can also see that on May 27th, 2021, it was the 147th day of the year, inverse 741. And if you go from January 27th out to the May 27th day, enter some data. Don't look at that last sentence. I messed up there. You get, so from January 27th to May 27th, you get 4 months exactly, or 17 weeks in one day. There's that number 4 again. I was talking in part 1. I read a little thing about the number 4 and how it's significant. Now the number 64. If we go from CV19 lockdown date spanning to June 2nd of AMC's all-time high, which you get 64 weeks exactly. And it was the 153rd day of the year. Well, 153 is the 17th triangular. Now, if we go and if we remember part 1, I went over AMC's numbers. AMC is equal to 17 in English ordinal and 64 in reverse ordinal. Remember how earlier I related 64 to the cube, and then we got Saturn time cube. Well, we can take some numbers off of that, because Saturn and Jupiter, the assembly of the two, define the golden section, which is 0.618. Well, that's significant because AMC and even the SPY react to these numbers. On 11/11 of last year, the second 3 minute of candle of the day, or 2/3/23, AMC hit a high of 618, and then on the next candle, it shot up. We had boom boom candles, and then I believe it was a couple of days later it hit $8.16, which is reversed 618. It reversed in price, and then
so let me ask you. I gotta ask, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this can't be all just? I know this, the 618 is kind of encoded in the realm in nature.
Yes.
So when you look at these movements of like an AMC at the 3 minute, right, at the candle, and the 2-3 minute candles, is that's got to be like programmed? But it seems like there's got to be a bunch of dudes sitting in a dark room programming this out to then coincide with the golden ratio. Am I wrong, or
no, you're 100% correct.
It's an algorithm.
Yes, they're called financial quants.
So none of, like, this is where I am, like, none of this is organic, but it is rather minute. So yes, that would make sense that a compute,
Yeah, these are computer science people. They legit still rocket scientists from NASA. Okay, that like to write these algorithms. If you want to learn more about how a financial quant thinks, you can purchase the book called Philomath. It was written by it's a co-wrote book. The one is owned Bosch and Loam, I believe, or is it not Bosch? Go ahead.
But it's also so they're doing this along with the golden ratio to, I would imagine, empower whatever they are trying to manifest, or their spell casting. So I
Yeah,
believe
exactly.
I
Spell
think they're all,
casting.
yeah, they're
So
all warlocks. You know, they're
let
all,
me
yeah.
let me try to explain what they're trying to do. So fractals, they are something that appears only in nature, but yet we see it all the time in the charts. Well, the reason they're showing us these fractals is to make it appear natural. And if it appears natural, then we'll be like, oh well. What happens whenever
Totally.
something so what happens when something shoots way up in price, or something just tanks 90% in one day? Like, we're all like, oh, that's not natural. That's it's rigged. Yeah, of course, yeah. But whenever it just moves in a wave, we're like, oh yeah, it's beautiful. I want to buy into that. It's black magic. And as you were saying earlier about Pope Gregory and the calendar, shortly after the installation of the Gregorian calendar, the first technical graphs came out on the market. Relatively speaking, shortly after, it was probably 20, 40 years after that, these graphs came out. But none of this would be possible without the installation of the Gregorian calendar. So I'm really glad that you brought that up earlier.
Yep. So shout out to those who don't operate on the Gregorian calendar and those traditions, because that's the more natural way, truth in nature. But yes, I've actually noticed that. I can tell you, Duke, from personal kind of my vibe over my experience here so far is the when I was first had a memory, there were other countries in places like a China or wherever who weren't fully rocking with the Gregorian calendar. So a lot of this full on implementation, I think went in full force, say in the last 100 to 150 years. I'm speculating, but that's me because I felt that vibe when I remember. I don't remember of course, here in the States, yes, but I remember hearing like in other countries, they were not fully, they had like both side by side. But I feel like nowadays they fully, the Gregorian calendar, commerce calendar, slave calendar has been, dog whistle Pavlovian calendar. You hit a whistle, you know when the bird to be at what time. Has just been in full force in the last maybe 50 years. But I'm saying, like, I think our dates, time, chronos, guys, they're like, they don't have actual powers, kinda, because they are weak, they are parasitic. They do have illusion powers. They're like David Copperfield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is actually a timekeeping system that a lot of I know a lot of corporate hospitals use, called Chronos. So it's like, it's deeply ingrained within our society, and as he's saying, how this Gregorian calendar usage has increased. That's because the infiltration and the invasion has taken hold more and more all over the world. Money, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One world currency. The time in the one world currency, in the one world government. This is not a theory. They said this, and their actions prove it as well.
Mm-hmm.
All tie in together, right? Hence the fear. Hence they had Sigmund Freud, and then his great nephew Edward Bernays, and of course you get the word Sig. Shout out to Slick Dissonant, the homie Gabe. Sig, signal, sign. This has been in the works for a while. Now it's in overdrive. And then what's the end game? Yeah, that is your enslavement, and you're going to be just like those cows that I mentioned earlier, in a tiny, 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 tiny cage, not knowing anything or any existence of any joy at all. That's the end game, and this is the I would say March. The March, we're in March. The march to the end game is now a full-on stampede to the end game, and it's not for yours and I benefit. So I'm always talking. That's why I'm always talking about is not giving your energy to this spell casting out there, this broadcasting that they do, not give it power, but to give yourself power. You are a generator. Your heart beats with no one's permission. We're here to empower yourself and myself, because what did we learn a few days ago? That we're all one. If I empower you, I empower myself. And we disempower those that wish to take our power. Okay?
Mhm.
We look to charge each other in that Taurus field, in that give and take, in all that flow, the stream. So we're going to remove all the dams and we're going to flow down the stream with our feet pointed downward, not get caught inside whirlpools in this world, Caribe, which means whirlpool, Caribbean. So yeah, this knowledge information that Duke is giving us is a part of the puzzle that really helps us to become our own Neo, become our own star of our own movie, and just go boom. This is a ride. As Bill Hicks, tie it all together, because we're more powerful than them. So we can create our own parallel commerce, our own parallel society, our own parallel vibe, where when we're vibing, it's just exponentially gets better and better.
Exactly. It magnifies,
It
amplifies.
amplifies. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead, Duke.
Absolutely.
Forgive me, my friend.
Oh, you're good, man. Absolutely. I appreciate you, going into it like that, like you do. Where was I? The 816. Yeah, it's a 618. So the 618 is related to Saturn and Jupiter's arrangement and their paths that they move with each other. There's other ways that the movie Back to the Future hints towards planetary alignments and planetary signs, symbols, knowledge, leads to the stock market. And if we look here, February, on Valentine's Day this year, February 14th, we had a low before a nice little wave up, a nice little push up. What's significant about Back to the Future and Valentine's Day and ANC? Well, we've got this video, which I don't know if you will be able to hear it. It's super low, but actually, let me just pull up the. Let's see.
And what is this from again?
This is from the part 3 of Back to the Future.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. That's not it.
Is this the West? I never saw the Western one.
Yeah. Part 3, it's a good one.
1 and 2 were such classics. I was like, man,
yes.
I'm just gonna.
I can't. I don't know where it's at, but I'll just try to use this one. Let's go with it. Let's see if you can hear it.
And that crater in the middle northwest, the one that's out there all by itself like a starburst. That one's called Copernicus.
You hear that? Maybe? Is it lagging?
Oh yeah, we hear it. No.
All right, great. All right, so she's talking about a crater on the moon called Copernicus. That's her. And so this is the Doc Brown and Clara's kiss scene in part 3. All right, where they fall in love, and so she opens up about her childhood and tells him about Copernicus on the moon. Oh crap! I didn't mean to do that. Well, Copernicus is located in the eastern Oceanus Procellarum, I believe that's how you say it, which is Oceanus, referring to liquid. Okay, the circular rim of this has a discernible hexagonal form. All right, we're going back to Saturn. All right, but there's also a star system called 55 Cancri. I believe that's how you say it. I'm not really sure, but it's nicknamed Copernicus. And their 55 is very significant in the ANC algorithm. If we go from the all-time low take a fifth time zone, going from the all-time low to the all-time high. This will give you a number 5 time zone right where it moves. And if you look at these time zones, you can see it's signaling a pump is about to occur. So take position. And right here at this 5, if you take another fifth time zone from Pi Day of last year, 314, and then go to the next low, it will bring out another 5 fib right here, right around right before Valentine's Day. So it just shows how the 5-5 fib is, or the 55 is significant in the algorithms. Not only with AMC, a lot of traders use the 55 MA when it comes to day trading.
Dude, I would love to you can set up all these indicators at once, if but like combining in 55, combining in all kinds of these things, and make your own like Duke indicator. Where people, instead of setting it up, you've already got it ready, and it's Duke indicator, and it already compiles the 20 different things going on.
Let me get rich, and then I'll make my own indicator.
Sweet. Dude, Magic. Hey, Kohel, Magic is gonna kick himself for not making this show because we're talking TA. He's gonna be mad. The one day TA's coming up in crypto and he's not here. Oh, shout out to Magic. We love you, man.
Well, at least he knows he can take a day off.
Oh yeah. He's our TA guy for sure, but man, it's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, brother. Thanks for having me. But people are probably wondering, well, how do you know that the movie that was released in 1985 is referring to this year in 2023? Well, it's quite simple. It's 38 years since the release. On July 3rd this year, it'll be marked 38 years since the release of Back to the Future. 38 in part 1, I went over 741. And its meaning, well, 741 is the 38th triangular number. 7141 plays a humongous role when it comes to meme stocks and date durations, palindromes, stuff like that. But not only that, this year is also in the Islamic calendar. It is also year 1444, which is a magnified 444 that we spoke about just a little bit ago. 1444 is the 38th square number.
It's Ramadan, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to go from this year to next year. And let's see here. Okay, so here's a part of the film in part 3 where it's also confirming that it's the year of the rabbit. Okay, so the only thing Marty eats in out of all 3 movies is this rabbit that his ancestor shot and killed. And let's see, we'll watch this video.
Maggie, I've got supper.
Supper, wild rabbit. And he's notice. Hang on, let me go back.
Yeah, you got some lag. It's cool.
Okay.
And tomorrow,
I'll take you as far as the railroad. Let me go back a little further. Notice the water. The water they're drinking, it's dirty water. All right, we got Pluto entering Aquarius in March, or it just entered Aquarius, which means it's like Pluto entering Aquarius will bring out it lowers the veil. It shows the dirty. It shows the good, the bad, the ugly. It just makes everything pop up and appear. And as we can see here, the movies has the dirty water here. It's referring to dirty money. And as we've noticed last year, this year, all these exchanges failing, these banks that are failing, they're really laundering money, coming to find out.
Best friend, it is
So he takes a bite of the rabbit, and he bites into 3 pellets. 1, 2, 3, signaling March. And if it's the Gregorian calendar, it'd be March this year. Now, if you remember in part 1 where I connected 322 with the 13th tarot card, because 322 is the 13th Lucas number. And the 13th tarot card in the major deck is the death card. So here is signaling. He spits out 3 pellets that killed the rabbit. So it's signaling death. So March 22nd stuck out to me in my head. Now, if we see what happened March 22nd, look what GameStop did after hours on March 21st. So the trading day for March 21st was over. It was after hours. GameStop pumped up 50% after hours. And then it continued next day, pre-market. It stayed up, and then it started to consolidate there next day on 322. AMC as well jumped up. It didn't jump up as much. It only jumped up about 7-8%, I believe. But then it was shorted back down the next day. But you can see today, the day before the 80th, tomorrow is the 88th day of the year. The 29th is the 88th day of the year. Today, it shot up good 20-something% and topped out at $5.50. 55. There's throwing that code out there. All right. And just to show you, I'm not bullshitting. I put my money where my mouth is. These are my positions. Now, this is not financial advice. Do not copy me. I'm not a professional trader. I'm not a professional anything. I am a professional compulsive gambler. Do not copy me. Okay. But I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Look at my calls that I had today. That I had interweekly calls. They jumped up. One was jumped up about 17. This says 1,300, but at one point it was about 1,700% on just one call option. And if you could predict when something's going to move, when that wave is going to go up or down, whichever way you want to play it, you can capitalize on this shit. Let's see.
Were those open trades, by the way?
Yes. Well, I've closed a few, but yeah, those are open trades.
Gotcha. It's a video game, guys.
Mm-hmm. It's a video game for show. And yeah, I'm not even going to show you my XRP account right now. Oh my God, it's so sexy. I'm so happy right now. Anyway, so I talked about Pluto entering Aquarius. Entered Aquarius on 3/23. Pluto spoke about Pluto bringing out justice. And let's see, just a couple of days after Pluto entered Aquarius, literally all of Israel is protesting in the streets over a corrupt government. Yeah, it's just it's insane. Over the last 20 years where Saturn and Jupiter were in Aquarius, they've left Aquarius. Now Pluto's in Aquarius. So all that bullshit that Jupiter and Saturn caused in the 20 years, Pluto's about to bring it to surface. Be like, hey, look at all this trash these motherfuckers left behind. You see, that's what's about to happen.
Astrology, guys.
Astrology.
Look at this. I like this. I like where you're about to go with this one.
Yes, sir.
The charts above, charts below. As above the charts, as below the charts.
So if you want to think about, if you want to see like what a picture of like what the hell I'm talking about, the astrology signs are skits or plays or movies, and the planets are actors and actresses. Okay, they're playing out these roles. So let's move on to these eclipses that are coming up. We have let's see, in October 14th this year, we have a total solar eclipse that's going to across America. And so you look at that October 14th, you look at that as a 114, or 11 times 4 is 44. And let's see, I think it was in part 1 I said that Yale is this year, Yale which is the headquarters for Skull and Bone Society, turns 322 years old this year. And it is, let's see, I believe that's on the 9th, just a few days before this eclipse. All right. And then next year, or I'm sorry, back in 2017, we had an eclipse cross the United States. Well, then next year on April 8th of 2024, we have a total solar eclipse that's going to come the other direction, crossing both of these points, making an X in the pattern, in the paths of these eclipses. Well, when you speak Skull and Bone terms, they're pirate themed. Well, one saying that pirates say is X marks the spot. Well, these time frames is signifying something really big is going to happen, and it's been planned for a really long time. How do I know it's been planned for a really long time? Because Reebok knew about it and they signified it in their logo. If you invert the Reebok logo, you get that pattern, that eclipse path that's going. You have the two coming from the west and the one eclipse coming from the east. X marks the spot. And then you got recently Reebok's logo changed to a pyramid here, signifying that this cycle is coming to an end, completion. That triangle's complete.
I'm wearing a Reebok jacket right now.
I fucking love Reeboks, dude.
Hey Duke, are we doomsdayers or whatever? Like,
oh, I'm not doom and gloom, brother.
Yeah.
These are all capitalistic events. You know, if you want to play into the fear, go ahead, play into the fear. But you're going to be left behind. You're going to be easily manipulated. You're not going to buy into the cryptocurrency. You're not going to do this. You're going to sell this currency that's going to go up because the Jim Cramer says, hey, we have this earthquake, whatever, blah, 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 going on. Like, this is not looking good. And the next day it fucking turns around. You just have to know when the market's going to move. You want to look at the market in a macro sense. Whenever you get down to intraday or intra-weekly, like you're literally, especially on a chart like the Dow or the SPY or something like that, like there's so much data. And if you're just looking intra-weekly, you're going to be manipulated very, very easy. You need to look on the macro trend, because those same candle patterns on a macro trend are the same candle patterns on an intra-weekly trend. Same. They're going to do the same thing. But it's going to give you a bigger picture, bigger overall picture of where the price is going to go. Now, if it looks like it's going to peak, you know, it's peaked out, then you're probably going to have another like a 1-2 year retracement period. So you probably want to play it on the downside. But if we have time, I can get into that stuff. Let's go over.
What about black swan events? Because that's where I see when I see all these auspicious, everything's colliding together at the same time, which has been known for a long time, which has probably happened before as well. Look, Abe, do you want to chime in at all? If you guys want to chime, Khalil, what do you think about this? Because yes, I want to position myself financially, but it's also like super black swan event, super volcano, super tsunamis. I'm just like, okay, well, your video game money, and I'm on all sides as far as that goes. But Abraham, what do you think, bro?
I think it's exactly what you've been saying all night. The Hegelian dialectic, problem reaction solution. A lot like Duke Doobie saying, they knew this was coming. This has been meticulously programmed and set forth in advance. All that we're seeing with the banks colliding and the currencies and the inflation all this year. I mean, and I think it's only going to get worse as this year finishes. Something we've been preparing for on my channel for 3 years now, since the bear flu or whatever. I just think it's a part of the script, just a part of the play. The world is a stage.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep going, Duke. Yeah, man. Thank
All
you.
right. So date durations from Back to the Future movie release to spanning to this October eclipse gives us 38 years, 103 days, a magnified 13 there, which symbolizes death, and because it's the 13th tarot card is the death card, which means like you can think of it as death, like doom and gloom, but really it just means rebirth, because whatever's reborn must die. That's what goes, like the teachings of Lucifer and whatnot, how Lucifer's a spirit, and then it takes what dies and rebirths it, basically. That's what the Masons teach. I'm not a Mason, by the way.
Yo, what do you, man? I don't even. I want to talk to you offline, because Masons, and we know what they're about at the top, but some of the people in our in places that we coincide in are also Masons, and it's like, yeah, I feel like I want to have this conversation offline, actually.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
let's go ahead. So yeah, the 13 here, the magnified 13, we can see the numerology. We got the 31 and 13 that day. We also have a 47 appearing and an 11. And then see the April 8th eclipse of next year. That's the 99th day of the year.
Let me just clarify. If you're like a regular person and you're a Mason, trust me, I'm not against you. I just question one's judgment when you look at who truly runs that organization. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
It's all love here. You know what I mean? The top of the crazies that run that organization and have created it and where it originated from, I'm not very cool with them. I'll tell you that right now. But okay, I just want to clarify. It's all love over here. Unless you start doing despicable things, then maybe we might have some issues. But anyway, go ahead, Duke, my friend.
All right, brother. Yeah,
I just don't want to exclude anyone, because I'm about knowledge, and I know some Masons are about knowledge. I just want to throw that out there. The bridge, there's a bridge there. There's no canyon cataclysm there.
Mm-hmm. The date duration for the next year's eclipse, April 8th, you got 38 years, 280 days, or the 28, or 2 8s. So you can look at 38 as 3 8s, and then 28 is 2 8s, or the 280. But remember, in numerology, you remove the zeros, because zeros represents the absence of a number. And then we see here this iconic picture of Macaulay Culkin wearing the Reebok Twilight Zone pumps, standing right next to the DeLorean. These were my favorite shoes. Like I want some really bad, but yeah, these are those iconic shoes, the Twilight Zone pumps. I remember back in the day, you had to have these shoes. I don't know if any other millennials are online that can concur. This was a very popular shoe back then, but yeah.
Yeah, man. Yo, dude, those shoes right there. A friend of my best friend, who is also my best friend now today, we were walking around the neighborhood. And hey man, when you're in middle school, every once in a while, I'll just say you might check a car handle every now and again just to see if it's unlocked. I'm not saying I was a saint, but I wasn't bad either. I was, non-duality. I was in the moment at all times. Mm-hmm. And One time we walked by a van, I just in an apartment complex next to our house, and just checked the handle, and it said, "Yo, actually no, it wasn't Reebok. It was LA Gear, dude. LA Gear had like a moment. It had a moment for a second. You know what I mean? And we were like, "Yo, oh, the door's open. Okay, cool." So we like, I'll be honest, we stole a bunch of LA Gear, but we're talking sixth graders, man. Don't judge us. We were in like the sixth grade. We didn't know right from wrong. And so we took it. I think it was LA Gear. It might have been Reebok. It might have been the Reebok pumps. I'm not. Forgive me. It was one of those, and it had a very short amount of time in the sun. But we found a few. We found some out in the field, out in the wild. We brought them home, and then we sold them to the tribe at school. So I just I don't think that's relevant, but it was just a little young memory of mine I wanted to share. But yeah,
But thank you for bringing that up though, because this nostalgic stuff that's coming up in your feed. I don't know if anybody's noticed it, but I have. Stuff that was popular for me when I was, back in the '90s is starting to resurface. These not just material items, these actors and actresses. We've got the Back to the Future. You've got Michael J. Fox and the Doc Brown and all them. They're starting to make appearances. They're doing like appearances at Comic Cons. They're doing guest star appearances and shows and whatnot. And that's just one for example. Whenever you start seeing that something from the past making its presence in the future, you're looking at a time. You're witnessing a time ripple. This is how Nostradamus was able to predict his stuff. An event happens, and that's a drop of water in a bucket, and that drop of water hits the water. It creates these ripples. You go back in time. You go to the left, and you're going back in time to see an event that happened kind of like that, or that's similar to that. And then you take that date duration and you go into the future, and you can predict something to happen that's similar into the future. So whenever you start seeing this stuff show up from the past, that's on purpose. They're trying to I don't know if they're trying to show you something, and they're throwing it in your face or whatever, but something from that time period is significant, and you've got to figure out what it was. For example, another example, the Chiefs. Okay,
and you got multiple ripples. Think about this: you throw pebbles in a stream or a pond, and you have multiple ripples interacting with each other.
Oh yeah, exactly. An example of that is me doing what I do with this, my decoding. Whenever I was just getting into it, I thought what I was doing was very insignificant and I was super crazy, but I was doing it anyway because one, I wanted to find somebody out there that was like me. Two, I just wanted to help someone. I had the mission to help someone, that might be seeing a different reality than what we are being shown. And doing that, this guy in my Discord, his name's Geo. He saw my work and it sparked something inside of him he just wrote a book. He's just published his second book. And because he saw my work, he published 2 books, and now an unknown amount of people are going to purchase those books, read those books, and who knows what kind of ripples those are going to create. Okay, and that's why if you truly believe in something, you should do it with everything you have, because as much as it doesn't matter the insignificance that it appears to be at the time, it makes a difference.
That's beautiful, man. Yes, indeed.
Thank you. Here's a clip from I forget the Facebook movie about Mark Zuckerberg. I forget the name of it, but here's a clip where they show how if you can predict the future, you can predict the market.
Okay, well, which is the easiest to get into?
Why would you ask me that?
I was just asking.
None of them. That's the point. My friend Eduardo made $300,000 betting oil futures one summer, and Eduardo won't come close to getting in. The ability to make money doesn't impress anybody around here.
Must be nice. He made $300,000 in the summer.
He likes meteorology.
You said it was oil futures.
You can read the weather, you can predict the price of heating.
Cut off a little too soon. If you can predict the weather, you can predict the price of heating oil. Man, oh man, that's so true. And I hope with what I've shown you here today, it makes a lot more sense on how you can predict things. Don't listen to the news. All the news that is being spewed to you is written by AI bots with some name tag to it. You don't know this person, some name and some picture. These people don't write these algorithms. They just get rich off of it I'm sorry, not algorithms. These people don't write these articles that are dropped in your news feed on your exchange that you use. They're pre-written and they're synced to drop at a certain time or price level. They can sync it to price axis or time axis, whatever they want to do. I witnessed it on Webull actually one day. The AMC stock went down to a certain price and it triggered a whole bunch of news articles, like 20 articles dumped one day or that day. And then the price moved up and then it came back down to the same price and those same articles hit again. Whoever programmed the algorithm accidentally programmed the news articles to the price axis instead of the time axis. And so whenever it hit the price, it shot out all these news articles that was tethered to that algorithm, if that makes any sense. So yeah, don't listen to the news. Learn how to do technical analysis and date durations. Learn how to read in between the lines. Go with your intuition.
Yo, let me share some. Let me expound on that, my friend.
Yeah,
I want everyone to know what's going on as far as this internet thing. Very soon, and I shared a video today on my DeFi Mystic channel. Okay, let me see if I can grab that. It will show you that at Davos or whatever you call it, is going to, their plan is to wave one, infiltrate DeFi, right? So let me just show what I'm talking about. I won't play it, but I'll just show an example. They have a whole goal. So also ask yourself where you at. You know what I mean? Where you want to be at. This is Davos 2022. Okay, my friends? I'm a DeFi expert, decentralized finance, and I spell DeFi DEFY because yes, I defy basically every single thing we've been talking about this evening. So you have what I was showing here. Hold on, I'm going to get to the top part. A big shift is in motion. This includes every single person that hears my throat chakra right now. This does include you. The largest tier 1 custodians invest in the infrastructure to safeguard the market, triggering a virtuous cycle of adoption. This shift creates new regulatory standards. I can't see. Banks setting up the gold standard of compliance practices. You will comply. And of course, we're going to look at wave one, MetaMask, Chainlink, Kraken, Coinbase, Crypto.com, Gemini, all these people, Grayscale, all of them. And then wave two, after they infiltrate the shadow crypto finance, we'll get a closer look. This is what they are doing at Davos. You know anyone? Do you know anyone at Davos? Whoop. That's I just want to show this a little close up. Shadow finance, shadow crypto finance. Why do you think they want KYC and AML to quote unquote fight human traffickers and all kinds of other horrible people? Who do you think are the main purveyors of those type of asset classes? Then we go to wave 2. After they infiltrate DeFi, which means takes your whole freedom away, which is what I teach, to remove your energy from fiat banks that have started wars forever and will continue to keep you into slavery, barely surviving, struggling on the Gregorian calendar, okay? Then you try and get an on-ramp. Kraken, Coinbase, Crypto.com, you name it, are a part of wave 1. So you have a very short window, my friends. If you're not in this already, I say this with love. You need to get in on the on-ramps, get your fiat, coupons out of there and into crypto and off of the exchanges as quickly as possible and into DeFi. Right? We'll get off of MetaMask. We'll use there's other options. There are options. I am unstoppable. I can buy and sell any crypto I want whenever I want. I can do commerce with whoever I choose to do so with. And I can do it in a way where no one will know who I do it with or how much that amount is for. Okay, so this is coming. You follow the rules. Are you a rule follower? How has that gotten rule followers the last couple years? You will be broke, sick, poor, unhealthy, and unhappy. If you're everyone who has any semblance of esoteric, or excuse me, Akashic records, or any connection to spirit, or any connection to their higher self, their higher being, then you will do your best to not go along with that system, because it leads to your enslavement and your death. Don't forget, we started talking about the Saturn, Black Cube of Saturn death cult. They run these systems. So I highly recommend you be aware of these things. Get out of banks, get into precious metals, get into crypto, in decentralized finance, own your own precious metals, own your own crypto keys, and we move in silence. And I've been saying this for well over a year now. We move in silence, and we are unstoppable. So try and do your best. We teach. We're here to help. We decode here to share so that you can be unstoppable and not involved in their new CBDCs. That's a whole nother conversation. Don't go along to get along. Don't follow dogma. Duke, I'll wrap up my rant in a second.
You're good, brother. You're doing great.
Don't follow dogma, the authoritative, approved truth in nature, truth in yourself. Look within yourself. Dude, I've been practicing box breathing, and it is a game changer. Don't spiral. You are powerful, and we are here to assist you in unlocking that power together. Because why? What did we learn this past Friday? We are all one. We are all the same. We're small fractals of one. When I look at you, you look at me, it is a mirror. Take that into consideration in all aspects. Remove your power, starve the beast. I'll be honest, I don't know how long they're going. I don't even know. You know what? On YouTube, it's like, do I wait for them to kick me out, or do I just go, you know what? I don't wish to do business with y'all anymore. Bye. And I take my show on the road to freedom, those who want to free their dome. Have financial security, meaning they can do commerce however they wish, whenever they choose, with whoever they wish to do commerce with. Non-censorship. self-empowerment has what I've been about my entire life, especially here on the public. Is self-empowerment. So take it away, Duke. I'm sorry, brother. Ralph Cooper in Florida. Shout out to your daughter. Much love to the kiddos, man. You know what, Ralph? Don't ever spiral. I've been telling myself this lately. I've got my daughter too, bro. And so shout out to Edward. Yeah, man. Go ahead, Duke.
No, you're good, man. I can get into some technical analysis now, but Abraham, if you want to, you've been sitting very patiently, and yeah, if you want to go over some technical analysis first, be my guest.
Oh yeah, I mean I can look at the chart. I haven't really looked at it today. You'd have to let me present my screen.
I can give you some. I can start and give you some time to get set up if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you start, and I'll look at the chart.
Coolio. All right. I hope I'm not lagging again. Okay. So let's do Bitcoin. Let me delete all this stuff. So what I want to try to do, I want to try to be very, 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 very simple. Because if you put too much crap on your charts, you're just going to be confused. This ain't Baskin Robbins. I mean, you've got all these options and whatnot, but you're just going to end up being too greedy with your options and end up getting burned. So the indicators that I'm going to use, what I'm going to do supply and demand, just because supply and demand is king. Okay, that you want to think about an elitist, you think about supply and demand because they fucking run it. All right, and so we're going to do supply and demand boxes. I use the GAN box set up 50-50. Oh, before I get into this, I want to give a shout out to the guy I'm learning this from. Let me pull his Twitter up because his name's Pharaoh. This dude is fantastic. Let me find him. Here he is, Pharaoh X33. I'll share his link in the private chat, and you can share it with everybody else. He has a Patreon where he breaks all this stuff down in short, easily digestible videos. He breaks it down very simply. Best guy I've found so far. It's expensive, but it's worth the money. All right, so we're gonna do supply and demand here. All right, let me get rid of. I'm going to use my replay here. Let me get rid of. All right. So here's the high. The high would be considered a supply zone. All right, so I'm going to take that candle, that high candle, and create a supply box. I'm on the monthly. I only use the supply on the daily, weekly, or monthly. Right now I'm doing on the monthly. There's one. Here's another right here. Another supply zone right here. Okay. Now let's do if we take a fib and we go from this low here to the 2013 high, we can get a good view of where it's going to retest here. As you can see that right here, it retested right here on this negative 618 box. The reason I use, so to be clear, let me get my pointer out. To be clear, I went from this low to this high, but I just extended it way out here to give me a good viewpoint. So now, and this is just extra confirmation, okay? So let's go to the weekly. Let's get another supply zone here. I'm gonna build this out. And I'm going to make this a demand zone right here, this little candle. And now we're gonna watch it run up, maybe. Hang on. All right. I'm gonna go back to the monthly. All right, let me hit play here. Okay, so now we can see that this candle pushed up and broke, pushed straight through that supply box, taking out sellers, okay? Taking out all these sellers, and it just keeps going, just blew right through. What this is telling me, this is very, 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 very important. This is telling me that the market is on an uptrend right now. Consolidating is hitting this upper box here, upper supply box, consolidating back down in this lower. This is showing you, and this is on a monthly. Each candle represents 1 month. This is showing a macro trend. So okay, here, let me pause it. So this one just wicked way back down, almost to the 618. And that's very important because usually after a big run like this, after it just took out all of these sellers, okay, it just like the market never stays up. It's always got to come down. It's the ebb and flow of the market. So now it took out all these sellers. Now it needs to come right back down here and accumulate more. Let me take this. If we take this supply box or this demand box down here to the whole monthly candle, we can see how it tested this zone right here. And now let's keep it going. So it came down, it retested this area, and then it's starting to push back up. It's starting to test it in this high zone box, consolidating up or it's going busted through. Now it's going to start consolidating a little bit. We've got support and resistance lines here, helping verify. And look, it just blew right through, shooting straight through. All right, now, where can this go? Let's move our fib. So I'm going to go from this low to the previous all-time high. Now this fib is not king. Supply and demand is king, okay? But the fib is just extra confirmation, and it helps give me price targets for the future. So look at that, just testing it. Comes up, hits, retraces. So I'm going to stop here. Now I've got another supply zone right there. Hit play. It's coming back up, testing that supply zone, retesting it. All right. Yeah, came back, retested it. Now I got a demand zone. Came back down, retested this demand zone. Reacting to this zone very nicely. And so, all right, we're bearish now. Let me pause it. It came back down, broke this support level. So I'm going to draw another fib. I want to get a price target of where it could retrace to. So and bring it from the all-time high, and we can come down. You can come down to this low. It give you a good macro trend of where it could retrace to. These could be some futuristic price targets, or you can bring it up here to this, to the previous all-time high. See how it comes down. Test, it's reacting to this level here, this all-time high. If you extend this monthly box out, this monthly supply box out, you can see how it's reacting to it as well. Oh, that's the end of it.
So what does that have to do with Bitcoin dominance? Because that could mean, I mean, could it mean altcoins do something now? It's like their turn, or is it not that season?
So I'm not 100% sure your question. Like, what are you asking? What is like the Bitcoin movement? What does it do to altcoins?
Yes, but what I'm talking about, like, okay, Bitcoin looks a little bearish right now, but could that mean the energy moves into altcoins for a bit in the short term sense?
So the majority of altcoins are a copy pasta of the algorithm of Bitcoin. So whatever Bitcoin moves, like most of the altcoins are going to follow. You can, if you take note on coins like XRP, XLM, XDC, they have diverged away from the Bitcoin algorithm, meaning that they have their own heartbeat. So it could signify that they have become a hemisphere of the brain that the cortex of that Bitcoin is. Consider Bitcoin the cortex of your brain. You consider it the sun of the solar system. Okay, it's the energy source. It provides all the energy to everything else. So if we've got coins like XRP, XDC, XLM diverging from Bitcoin, it could just it's creating a whole nother beast. But yeah, if Bitcoin rages, like we've over the last few months, we've pushed up. We pushed about 87, 86%, and on my XRP, I'm up in just in 1 month, I'm up 90%, just 1 month's time. So it just depends on, let's see here. Let's look at Dogecoin, meme coin. I love Doge. So I'm on the monthly here. All right. Doge is in an uptrend as well. Like, people telling you, oh, sell Doge, whatever. It's at 7 cents. It's not going anywhere. Look at this chart. It's still in an uptrend. It's done. It had a parabolic move. Now it's recessed. Let's pull a fib here. I'm gonna go to.
You're gonna make me FOMO in the Doge again,
dude. I have a conspiracy about Doge. So, in Old Testament times, Hebrews, the Jewish people, they hated dogs. They hate dogs. I don't know if they do now, but back then it was like dogs didn't come inside. Even in so like biblical movies, you notice that dogs are just so they're like they're not a member of society, I should say, back then. So I see it as like a slap in the face to the Khazarian Jews that there's a dog on a coin, because dog is reverse of God. So I just have the conspiracy theory that Dogecoin, it being the second cryptocurrency out there ever, it made to be made fun of, or like they made it to make fun of Bitcoin. All right, I think they're making it to make fun of the way that the Jewish community, the Jewish powers have printed man on coin, the face of a man on coin, which it literally says in the Bible, do not put the face of a man on a coin. I can't recite the biblical verse, but yeah. So Dogecoin here, we can, or let's do, I'm going to go from that to, this low to this previous high. All right. I'm holding a lot of Dogecoin, by the way. I made a lot on this pump here. I had a 5-figure trade. It was my best trade I ever made. And I thought I was hot shit, and I lost like 15 grand of it to bad trades. And it almost gave me ruined me for the rest of the market. But we're going to pull this fib from this low here. Why this low? Because it's the low before the pump. And then we're going to go to the previous high here. To be clear, we're going from this low here to this high, but I'm going to extend it out here, which gives us a fib here. The negative 0.27 is around 4 cents, 0.044. And then the negative 618 is at 11 cents. And as we can see right now, it's bouncing in between this demand zone and this supply zone. So we're getting that retest. So all-time high, came down, went up, starting to come down again to retest before we see a move to the upside. And then, so where's the price target for Dogecoin in the future? All right. Well, let's go from this low to the all-time high. Is it that one? No. We're going to go from this low here. No, I'm doing it wrong. Hang on. I'm trying to find a good vantage point. Give me a second. All right. Okay. So from this low to all-time high, we've got price targets of $1.50 and $3.95. So if you're going to accumulate, wait for it to push through. I would set a stop loss right 1 penny below. So it would be at 0.048. I would set I'm sorry, not 1 penny, 1 decimal point below. If it was in whole numbers, yeah, it would be 1 penny. But we're talking fractions here. So yeah, I would set a stop loss here in case it decided to dip back down and retest this area down here. Or I'd accumulate, and then I would have, set some sell limits or some limit sells around $1.50 and onwards up. I do have an exit strategy that I'll share with everybody on a different date when it comes to massive 10,000% gains and whatnot. But that's just that'll be on another day. But But that's pretty much all I have for my charting. I can go over XRP if people want me to go over XRP. XRP, just real quick, it's another one that's on the upside. Don't listen to anybody whenever they say XRP shit. You know, it's on the upside. It's still trending upwards, and we're looking at price target for it real quick. 1 second. We're going to go from this low to the all-time high. We're looking at $8, $26, $27. So, and right now it's trading at 52 cents.
Yeah. Yo, Duke, let's start to land this plane.
Yes. That was it. Though, actually, I was going to finish with that.
Yeah, I mean, we could have Duke go over all kinds of cryptos or some I love. We could have Duke, but again, it's getting on 11 o'clock. It is a Tuesday, and you already dropped so much knowledge. And if you guys who are, I hope we shared some info for everyone. I want to, because it's all connected. If you're not into finances or anything like that, but you're a decoder and you want to know how this realm operates. And then also, if you're into crypto and you just want to invest, but I think everyone got a little bit of everything tonight, which is what I love, because it is all connected. It's not separate. We're connecting the left and right brain. We're the torus fields. We're all connected. Trees, finance, dates, a death cult that wants to take your loosh. You have loosh and energy. You have energy. You know what I mean? And you have all this. Video game is so interesting. We're just playing with video game money, navigating the lizards. You know what I mean? Navigating the loosh, the viril geeky watcher types that wanted to damn. It's just so hilarious when you think about it. I want to laugh. I just like to laugh at it. But man, Duke, you shared so much info tonight, man. I think it's time for us to wrap it up, because there's only food for thought. They say food for thought. I mean, it's like I'm full right now.
Yeah. Unbutton my pants button.
Yeah, I gotta unbutton my if I wore a trucker hat, I'd have to open a few bands because my pineal gland's been expanding this evening. As usual, per usual.
I appreciate you having me out to talk about the cheat codes. And I love how the universe works. Got Konami codes here. Me talking about cheat codes for this simulation that we live in. I love it.
It's absolutely awesome, man. Absolutely awesome. Saturn is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere, even in atheism. You know what I'm saying? Especially in mathematics. So I thank you for this wonderful, wonderful display.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much.
I gotta know, did you have this day picked for some reason to do a part 2 about 322? Birdog? Anyone? Like, was today picked for a reason?
No. It was purely organic and natural.
And I want to share on that. If I'll share my screen for a moment, but I'll share just how this is always by the code. Share screen. And when you look at today, you see that today's date is the 87th day of the year. When we go to the 28th today, being the 87th day of the year. And when you go to the 87th element, it is francium, the atomic mass of 223. So again, the 223, 322, part 2 being in here, today being the 87th day of the year. When you type out the founders of Skull and Bones, their names are William Russell and Alfonso Taft, but they are from Middletown, Connecticut, and Townsend, Virginia. So when you type out Middletown and Townsend, you're gonna get that same 87. So I could do that, but just in closing, I won't share that. But it's just tying us into today, the 87th day of the year, tying us back into Skull and Bones Part 2. So I didn't know if y'all had that for that reason or not, but I mean, for us to be all out here on Tuesday, it's just all in this code.
Actually, what we did, Abe. No, we had a private meeting. We sat and mapped out all the math and all the auspicious dates and days to do Part 2. So, Abe, yes, we planned it all out from the before even Part 1 happened. We planned it out.
You use this right here, knowing it was 223 Skull and Bones, knowing that you are Jesus Christ 223 from the Abrahamic religions 322, the ancient mystery religions. The greatest story ever told. Basically, all coming back to you, the yin and the yang 322.
Man,
but it's all math. 314 pi. But yeah.
That's how we
love it.
The programmer. Man, that's just a way to ice.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Here he comes. Yes. Because you can't just, Abe, mic drop like that.
Yeah, my bad.
People want more.
They pulled a Duke Doobie.
I didn't mean to leave studio. I meant to just stop presenting.
Yeah.
I did that on part 1.
Yeah, I do that. I do that all the time. I try to turn off the shared screen and I'll just disconnect someone. I'm like,
that red button's so fancy right there.
Yeah, but dude, you guys, there are no coincidences. It's all a code. I don't know. If you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't, and that's okay. You know what I mean? He got rugged at the 87-minute mark. We were just talking about 87, and you know what? I don't need to fact check that. This this message right here is enough facts for me. Facts.
Oh.
Yo, one last time, I just want to hear everyone else's voice, and then we're gonna get out of here, and I'll play a little thing from our good friend Loco listens on the way out, and then Kalel one more time. Let's go around, and then Duke one more time, and then Abraham one more time, and then we're out of here. That was a joke, he said. You know what? I'll take it as fact. I'm like, you know what? He said I was kidding. It sounds like I think it was true. Anyway, Kalel, one more time, my friend. Take your time, brother. What do you think?
I'm thankful, man. Both of you brought it incredibly. I love how I love it whenever people can show how the code is organic. There's still this stupid debate about whether or not it's it's just a tool for the elite or for whatever. That's ridiculous. It's so easy to see even on the surface, and you both displayed that beautifully. So I'm very, very thankful.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Dude, what else you got? You got anything else? I mean, you talked the whole time.
Yeah,
you
I don't have anything else. I do want to share that Abraham and I are getting together now. I've invited him into my little private circle that I have going on with a couple other decoders. Divine, D-Vortex, her, Chromanara is in there. And then with the addition of him and his knowledge and the way he just flows with the gematria, it's a great addition. And I hope that we all can get together and bring y'all something that's just going to drop jaws.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm definitely pretty excited about it. And I want to thank Duke Doobie and D-Vortex, Awakened Soul Crypto, Birdog, the entire Waters community, and anybody that's been a long time pioneer and supporter for me. I've just always believed that we had our own power to sculpt our own reality, and I wanted to bring that to the table and take this knowledge, gnosis, and wisdom that's been, stuck in my dome, and free it to the world before, I leave it one day. So I'm just out here like sharing my story, and to have you guys, resonate to my work, it's humbling, and I never thought I'd be doing what I do, so I'm definitely very grateful. I'll say that.
Dude, you got powerful gifts, bro. You, Abraham, yeah, you have a message you want to share with the realm, and they will can gain from that. So get it out there, bring it out, let it out. And I'm here to support you as much as I can. I know Kalel is a major supporter of all beings that want to create and share. um I mean, we got your back, man. And Divine Vortex, she's tribed up. We know we're all in the same tribe.
Yeah.
We're uniting the tribes, guys.
Right.
Decoders are uniting, everyone. Do you think that means anything? I think it does. Okay. When you see a bunch of decoders of different clans and tribes starting to unite the tribes, I mean, I think that is an indicator of my own indicator of a power shift, of a realm energy shift. Anyway, Kalel is my boy. I love him very much. Duke, I love you, bro. Part 2, you crushed 1 and 2, guys.
Awesome, thank you.
You put a presentation, you put the time in and the presentation, and you know what you're talking about. And you blessed me for sure. And we're all one. Yeah, man, I appreciate you, man. And Abraham, I appreciate you as well. You're incredible. Get your voice out there, and we'll do our best to amplify your voice. We're the underground. We're a small unit, but we are so flipping powerful. It's not even funny.
True.
Are you kidding me?
True. The underground, I like that.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Much love, peace, and harmony. We're gonna play out my friend Loco Listens podcast, his last podcast for a time. Support the underground, because the energy given here, if you want it to be authentic and true, and you want it to be around, you have to support everyone. Loco Listens has given us so much. He's a major supporter of this unit here, and he wishes to take time off to focus on other endeavors, but he will be back, and we love him, and he is a part of the tribe as well. And that's how we operate. When you rock with us, we got your back, and that is in IRL and AR, AI life, AIL. That's an IRL and AIL. Anyway, much love, peace, and harmony. I appreciate each and every one of you. I truly, truly, truly do. Guys, later. We're out. We're out.
Later.
We'll be back.
Back for the next one.
Yeah, I'll be here. The real 3-2s next month in May, so 2-2-3
yeah.
and May, so yeah.
Oh my gosh! Well, part 3
coming soon.
Part 4 and part 5.
Let's do
later,
it,
guys.
Later.
Now we can have our segue into by the way, what is Weaving Spiders Welcome? And also, we're going to talk about this haunted house for sure. But
yes, it connects because